In this video, you'll experience how the new electrical wire harness module in Automation Studio version 10 changes the game for wire harness design, dramatically reducing design time and turning a traditionally tedious process into an efficient, intuitive workflow. First, inside the Electrotechnical project in Automation Studio version 10, we have an electrotechnical document open. From here, we can also open different templates, such as the default wire harness diagram and the Formboard diagram. For now, I open the online catalogs and navigate to the Automation Studio Electrical version 4.0 catalog. I open the tree, go to Lines and Connections, then Connectors, and click on Deutsch Connectivity. Here, you can find multiple enclosures, pins, and sockets that are standard to Deutsch connectors. Like other catalogs, you can change the options to configure the part number, and at the same time, adjust the properties of the component that will be used on the diagram. I simply drag and drop the connector from the web catalog directly onto the schematic in Automation Studio. A window opens for the connector, and we can see the connector information as well as the isometric view. If I go to the Electrotechnical tab, there is a section dedicated to builders. For harnesses, we can use the wire and cable spool builder and also the connector builder. I open the connector builder, where I can add different connectors. Since we drag the connector from the catalog, we immediately have XD1, which is a Deutsch connector DT04-4P. I can copy this connector to create a second one, or drag another connector directly from the web. Now that the connectors are defined, I go to the Library Explorer from the Electrotechnical technology. I navigate to Lines and Connections, then Connectors, and drag the connector symbol. I place the connector component onto the schematic. Inside the properties, I can configure which connector this symbol refers to by selecting it from the list created in the connector builder. I select all the pins so that they all appear on the connector symbol. I then change the size to make it look more balanced when snapping it to the grid. I repeat the same process for the other connector, in this case XD3. I align the connectors on the schematic and begin creating the electrical connections. When I draw the connections, each wire can inherit the properties defined in the wire and cable spool builder. These wire spools are created by selecting a specific material. From the material, we define the conductor gauge, the base color, the insulation color, and from there we can create either a wire spool or a cable spool. Once I draw a line on the electrical diagram, I can highlight it to represent the selected color. If I want to change the visual standard, I open the wire properties, scroll down to the last section called highlighted wire, and enable inheritance from the wire spool. I can also adjust the thickness of the line and confirm. Once this is done, the line appears in black. If I double-click on the second wire and change the wire type to another spool, for example, a blue wire, all of its properties are immediately updated on the diagram. For the third and fourth connections, I add a splice. I connect pin 4 to port 3 of the splice, continue to port 1, and then connect it to connector XD3. I then connect pin 2 to port 2 and port 3 accordingly. I can also change the wire types on these connections, just like I did for the others. At this point, all electrical modifications are complete, and this is what the two-dimensional diagram looks like. From the two-dimensional diagram, I can now move to the three-dimensional environment. The logic defined in the electrotechnical diagram is what drives the three-dimensional model. Automation Studio uses this design logic to generate both the three-dimensional harness and the formboard semi-automatically. In the three-dimensional view, I first adjust the grid to make the layout clearer. The first step is to create the topology, meaning the segments through which the wires will pass. I create several nodes, in this case, 4 nodes. If I open the Library Explorer, we can see 2 new libraries, parts and electrical components. The electrical components correspond exactly to the components used in the electrotechnical document. When I drag a splice into the three-dimensional document, it must be placed on a segment. Connectors, on the other hand, must be placed on nodes. To ensure this, I rewire the topology so that the splice is positioned along a segment. This means all wires passing through the splice will follow that blue segment. I then create a second segment for the wires that do not pass through the splice. Using the connection tool, I select a segment, choose the node to move, and connect it to the target node as indicated. Once the topology is defined, I can move the splice and observe how the topology reacts. I can also move the nodes themselves. I then drag the connectors onto the nodes and confirm their placement. At this point, the main components are positioned. The next step is placing the wires. I can drag and drop the wires from the Library Explorer, and they will automatically connect through the defined topology from one connector to another. Alternatively, I can use the connect wires command, and the wires will connect automatically as expected. In this example, we draw directly on the grid, but it is also possible to draw on imported three-dimensional objects, planes, or surfaces. When I move connectors, nodes, or the splice, the wires automatically reconnect and follow the updated topology. Based on this three-dimensional design, I can now create a new document, which is the formboard. The formboard is generated automatically from the three-dimensional harness. From this, I obtain the complete formboard, including the drawings and two-dimensional representations of each connector. Each connector includes detailed pin information and connection data. For each wire, the formboard shows the source pin, the destination pin, the connected connectors, the color, the gauge, and the length. All wire lengths are calculated automatically from the three-dimensional geometry.